All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the 70th episode of At Witt's End, the big 7-0.
Yeah, it's older than you now.
Wait, you got to wait till I introduce you. I'm Ken. That's Carson. Carson is 6,000 miles away. This time only an 8-hour difference due to the differences in time change.
Special month.
I'm here in Northern California. It's a beautiful sunny day. We've already had our time change, so the EU changes are coming up.
Yeah, end of the month. I think the last Sunday of March is the time change for the EU.
Ah, gotcha. I don't know why they don't do it the same globally as far as the same weekend
they
or
don't
whatever.
even have the same calendars globally. So
yeah, that's true. Everybody does it a little differently. And quite frankly, it's been a while since we've done an episode. And we did some traveling. That's what part of this episode is going to be about. But getting back to the States, I was completely thrown off because the time change had happened here. And St. Patty's Day was coming up. I had no idea about St. Patty's Day when it was. So kind of getting back into the grooves. So this episode, we'll be talking about the trip. I joined you in Rotterdam.
yeah, we went to the Rotterdam Rodeo. Well,
God,
I guess as much as a rodeo there can be in Rotterdam.
Yeah, you say rodeo. We went to a country music festival called Country to Country. You can't call it a rodeo. There was no livestock.
Well, obviously, it's a joke. Come on,
I know,
don't take it too serious.
But no true cowboys other than the guys that were in the band. Probably a few of them.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
Dutch cowboys.
I mean, there's definitely Dutch cowboys. Definitely like horse and cattle ranchers. Probably, I don't know if there's cattle ranchers. There's farmers at least.
Yeah, farmers, I would say.
But yeah, country to country. T2C as it's called. It's a if you aren't aware of what it is, kind of like the name implies, they take country music and bring it to other countries, primarily in Europe, and throw a festival. So they have two actually weekends of country to country. We went to the first weekend, and they do it kind of interesting. I don't know of another festival that does this, but they have it in two different cities, at least on our weekend, two different cities at the same time on the same weekend. So Rotterdam and Berlin, actually. And they basically rotate the artists between the cities on either day. So whoever performed on Friday in Rotterdam performs Saturday in Berlin. They do like a overnight and go to switch over to the other location. So
they basically get on a bus, and I guess pass each other halfway between the cities.
A bus or a train or a plane if you're big enough, I guess.
And that's one of the things I would like to kind of see the logistics of how they do it. But it's a much bigger festival than that in that there's a total of 5 or 6 cities. Originally, we were looking at going to Belfast or Glasgow.
Yeah, they have the British Isles version, which is 3 cities, so 3 days in 3 different cities in the British Isles. I think in the UK specifically. I think they do Belfast, Glasgow, and London for their 3 cities. Not 100% sure.
You were kind of jonesing for some good old American country music, and you had started to look at the festival in London, I believe. Yep. And I said I would rather go to, say, Belfast or Glasgow. And I think we had I think we'd settled on Belfast, but it just didn't work out. And then we started to look at the 2 dates on I'll say the continent of Europe and settled on Rotterdam.
Yeah, I mean, you decided to go 2 weeks, I think, before this.
Yeah, it was kind of a last minute trip.
So, yeah, and I just want to get this out of the way. The first question is, do you advise going to a country music festival in Europe for someone from the US? Doesn't make any sense to do that.
Well, it is funny because people, both the Dutch that we talked to and people I come across here in the States will say, why you went where to see a country music festival? You couldn't stay here? One, there's always the claim that there's no American culture. And I would say it's the complete opposite. We export our culture everywhere. And I was intrigued by the concert in that you got a country music concert, all American acts playing in this case in Rotterdam. And to me, it was a a curiosity. I wanted to see what it was like, um, and I was a little bit hesitant in that, if you look at the seating, they have the mezzanines up in the arena up top with seats. As an old dude with cowboy boots on, we did take our cowboy boots.
What's
I w
it's at Ahoy, which is like a
Yeah, Rotterdam
convention
Ahoy.
event center
Correct.
in Rotterdam. So it has a couple different large music venue rooms, and then like two buildings. So there was something going on in the other building.
Yeah.
And then we like the country to country had like two big spaces they were taking up.
Yeah, and that was the thing about it. I mean, when we were typical Americans, we kinda showed up a little late. It started, I think, at 3. What time we get there, 5?
First night was like 6,
Yeah,
if not 6:30.
yeah, so we were a little late, getting there. Quite frankly, it wasn't because we were rushed or anything, it was just that was our choice. But, as we got off the subway and made our way across the street to the arena, I was like, "Oh, crap. There's nobody here. It's gonna be dead inside." And then we walked through and the place was packed, and this was the first night.
Yeah, I
So,
wouldn't say it wasn't packed up on the first night. There was definitely, some space. The
yeah,
seats
but it
were
was still
definitely
crowded.
open, but it was definitely inside the main floor, and everything was pretty crowded. The food and all that. They had um like a food truck rodeo basically in one room with a little
Yeah,
the
not just
band.
one
So
food truck, they had, what, 6, 7, 8? I don't know. There was
yeah,
great food. The
all
first
American food too.
all-American food, hot dogs, barbecue. And that's the other thing. As an American, it's interesting to see how they portray American food, American music, American fashion. That was the other thing. I don't think I've ever been to a festival or concert. They all have merch, but they had their merch. They had a barber shop where guys were getting haircuts, mullets, basically, to echo, what they thought was American country guys. They had a tattoo parlor. Guys and girls were getting tattoos right there on the property. Um, and to answer the question of how they know about country music, there was the Netherlands, I don't know, big country music station was there.
It
They were
was like
starting up, I
it was
think.
like National Radio Netherlands or something like
Yeah,
that.
they played all country music, and there was a quote for la yeah, it wasn't Boot Barn, but there was a a
It was called like a truck stop, but it was a Western wear, like American
yeah,
Western wear store.
but
That yeah.
that was in the entry hall, and then in the smaller venue room where they had the food trucks,
Oh,
and they
that
also
was the truck stop one. Yeah, the entry
yeah,
hall was just a different like Western store.
yeah, basically a Western store, and they also had an area where artists would stand to get pictures taken with somebody. And then in that other main hall, they had the true country Western store. They had obviously the beer, the wine, the hard alcohol, and all the food. They had line dancing. They had a record shop set up. Guy was
Yeah,
selling records,
yeah.
tapes, CDs, um, jewelry. You could get a nice Western rodeo belt buckle.
To get some turquoise.
Yeah, am I missing any other stores? I mean, there was a lot of stuff there. So for me, that was intriguing, and I enjoyed it. And I would also say, if people said, "Would you go again?" I said, "You know what? I would." And if I've actually talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people now want to go the next time, they're going, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah." And the difference is too, we got to meet a lot of the acts. I mean,
Yeah.
the big acts were on the big stage, and they had the floor in
Yeah,
front of like a
you're not
golden
meeting the
circle.
headliners, yeah.
No, but, and we'll get into it. We met some of these members of the band and had a great time, great discussions with them. So I'm big fans now, and I think you are too. So yes, I would say it was worth it. It is almost like, when we were in Vienna and even London, and people were going to see Taylor Swift. And I would advise people here, they couldn't get tickets for Taylor Swift in the United States. I said, you know what? Go to Europe because the tickets are cheaper and
Yeah, I
you
mean,
can get them, and it's a vacation. So I would say the same about this. A
yeah,
country
I mean, I wouldn't say like this one would have been cheaper. A Taylor Swift concert was definitely cheaper than like a Taylor Swift concert in the US. This
Mhm.
was pretty like same price. Yes, it's in a different city, but it
But
does
I would
take
say it
up
was a little bit cheaper,
maybe a
in my
little bit.
opinion. It's also
But
less restrictive, I think.
partly because it's a festival.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to encourage people to, you know, get into American country music.
Yeah, but I think the other like thing is it did take up basically 2 full days, so it would be kind of hard to be a tourist and um go to these like at the same time. So you would have to like kind of take 2 days to do this, and then you
Yeah,
know
but you could just go to
resume your
one day and
tourist.
see your favorite acts. So, but again, I would if somebody's into country music, it's a great way. You know, go see a city or a country in Europe and go see American country music.
Yeah. So speaking of acts, I guess we can get into to some of the acts if you want to. If you don't have any other points to bring up on the Um, I'm trying to think of anything else on the logistics side of it, but
Well, actually, before we get into the acts, and I've made this comment. Some of my Dutch friends have said, well, "Hell yes, we are." Um, there
yeah,
plenty of
well,
beer.
let's preface this. Uh, I've been to the Netherlands recently. We had an episode on the last
Yeah,
time I was
yeah,
there. You have not been to the Netherlands for a very long time, and
yes.
probably don't. You have no kind
Other than
of
stopping in Schiphol to transfer.
at the airport. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you have no other concept of like your only concept of the Dutch people come from what you see on TV, but also F1 races and the orange army of Max Verstappen contingent that you also saw in
A- a-
Austria,
and Dutch friends that I have. So
and
yeah.
a few Dutch friends. Like generally, you're not I guess up on Dutch culture. I would say
No,
no.
I mean it's
Yeah.
not something you think about. Oh, I gotta study up on Dutch culture. So
But
yeah,
so
go ahead with your
going back to
comment.
your no, I was gonna say go back to your point. So I just wanted to set the stage of
Oh,
what you're about to say.
okay. I don't know if you know what I was going to say, but I Dutch people when they're drunk are fun. They don't get angry. There was not one fight that I saw. The only conflict I did see is some Dutch bros were having a great time the second night, and security got a little concerned. But everybody was having a good time. You know, the guys around us were having a good time. We're all drinking. Yeah. So, and then, like I said, some of my Dutch friends will say, yeah, we're fun drunks. And going back to experiences with the Dutch before, like at the F1 races, I mean, they love their club music. They love American music. They were all singing along, having a great time. So that would be my comment.
Yep.
One,
Yep.
you can attend an American country concert there or see an American act, and the Dutch people are great people to hang out with.
Yeah. Yeah, it was they're I very much enjoy the Dutch people. I think they're a lot of fun and yeah,
What would
it's
be one other thing
fun.
you'd say about the Dutch people?
Well, I just a comment I'd make about the experience there. It's funny because you like um you look around and you see everyone wearing all this like country music
Western
regalia,
wear.
Western
Yeah.
wear, and all the get up and everything, their cowboy boots, and you're like, and then you hear them speak, and you're like, I have no idea what they're saying because I cannot understand the Dutch language at all.
Well,
Just
and I said that I have a problem with the Dutch language in that I really have to concentrate on them, and it's almost like space aliens talking. I'm watching their lips, and I said it's one of the hardest languages for me. And I was comparing it to Hungarians, and you said, "No,
it's
wait, Dad, Hungarian is much harder. There are some
it's
words, every fifth or sixth word's dramatic. You can catch on."
yeah, and I can catch on to some of the German like more normal German sounding words and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like you can definitely catch those, but just the accents are hilarious. I actually find the Dutch accents really fun. One of my favorite accents.
I would say the same thing. Oh, and by
Um,
the way, you'll notice I rarely buy a concert T-shirt, but I figured I had to buy one here.
yeah, it's a pretty unique one.
Yeah. No,
But yeah,
the
it's
one comment.
like yeah, it's just funny. Yeah, the people dressed up like everyone looks American there, and then you just
Yeah.
hit that language that
But
throws you off.
Dutch dudes are very tall. I'm
Yeah,
surprised
I
they're
mean
not better at basketball.
tallest people in the world.
And I asked the question, I wonder if they wear these clothes ever again. And you made the comment, you think the girls the women, the dates, the girlfriends, the wives are all into country music, and a lot of the guys show up. And I did notice it was mostly guys getting new cowboy boots there. It was guys getting cowboy hats. The girls were already decked out. But during the concert, looking around songs I didn't know, they knew the words to. So I was impressed by that too.
Yeah, and I will say, I feel like you didn't know the majority of the artists.
Did
Maybe
not,
as we talked, you didn't know a majority of them. I did know a majority of these
yeah,
artists, and also probably my favorite artist right now was the headliner. Uh,
on the second night.
yeah, second night, main night.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I think for you it's definitely a lot of new. For
Yeah.
me, it was like listening to my Spotify in real life. It was kind of crazy to
Yeah.
like here it is, and we'll get into some of the ones that I was like, holy crap, like how do I know every one of these guys' songs? Like they don't have a lot, and they're on the small stage. So,
Well,
but
that's what yeah, during the acts, I would say, besides the headliners, you knew a lot of the songs and music. I would say I knew some, but didn't know the others, but was impressed with the music. And I would say I'm a country music fan, but I'm more broad based. And then I would hear a song, and I had no idea that was the artist singing the song.
yeah, I mean, I guess so. Getting into the artists, let's start with some a couple of the headliners. So the first one, first night, Jordan Davis. I mean, dude's just a hit maker, and he has, radio hit after radio hit, and I think
Yeah.
every single one of the songs he played was either radio hit or like his new music. Um, so and everyone there knew his music too. Like it was, I mean,
Yeah.
Jordan
Even
Jordan
me.
Davis is a headliner. Yeah. And I know he's on a pretty big world tour. I think he was in Australia, New Zealand, and then came up to Europe or was going there or something. Um, but yeah, pretty crazy. What did you think of Jordan Davis?
Yeah, I was, I knew Jordan Davis. I wasn't like, oh, I got to go see him. But then when he started to play, it was like you said, every song was a hit.
Yes,
The top 40. I was going,
everyone.
damn, I forgot that was his song. Damn, I
Yeah,
forgot that was his song. So I knew all the words to him. He put on a good show.
yeah, yeah. He's
I
a
had,
good artist. Nothing over the top. I don't like nothing absolutely spectacular, but he is like one of those like he's good to see live. He's very good and still in person, and his hits are still hits.
yeah, I guess when it came down to it, I didn't really have high expectations for any one act or the whole festival. It was going to be just a kind of an experience. Let's see what happens. And like I said, Jordan Davis, and oh shit, every one of these songs is a hit. So,
Yeah.
thumbs up.
Now,
Good
yeah,
act to
he was
see.
good. He was good. Now my favorite, the artist I was most looking forward to, so headliner of night two was Zat Top. I
Well,
say
I
I was
thought you were going to say somebody else instead of jumping to the next night. I thought you were, but go
no,
ahead.
no, let's go headliner still. So Zat Top headliner night two. A little preface on this. I bought tickets for Zat Top's first European stop in Zurich. I could not go because I had football practice the weekend he was playing. So I supported him twice. Although yeah, my ticket to Zurich went unresold. It was a little unfortunate, but got to see him in country to country. And I mean, yeah, I love what Zatop is putting out his music. He's traditional country 90s, 80s. Like his songs are country ballads and
Yeah.
bluegrass. Like he's so good. I really enjoy his music.
And I would say I was kind of unaware of him. I mean, I knew of him, but it wasn't somebody that's like, oh, I got to go see. You were a much bigger fan than I was. When he started, I was going, oh, he's country ballad. And I thought he's going to be like, he didn't engage the audience until like after the third song, I think. And so initially I thought songs are great. He's a very traditional country singer. If you're old school country, this is your guy. If you're new school, you're going, wow, you're a great guy. It's fun. But I was thinking he's the Van Morrison of country music because I don't think he said anything to the audience for the first two or
It
three
took a
songs.
few, but then he
Then he did. He
got
did
into it. Yeah,
engage. Yeah.
he was a good performer. There was a point where he had like the banjo going crazy for a while. He's
Yeah.
also really good guitar player.
Yeah, he is.
And then I think he had like a fiddle going crazy during a couple songs. They basically there was a point where you and I have been to Floyd County and Floyd Country Store,
Yeah.
like Appalachia, like where they're picking on banjos and fiddles, and it's
And the
bluegrass,
base
and
is literally a piece of wood on a overturned washer bin
yeah,
where
there
the
but
guy boom boom.
there was a point in the show where it took you back to like that. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
sounded like to me, and that was perfect.
I think we both turned to each other, beer in hand, and said, Floyd County.
Like it's just it sounded like that type of music, and that's what's so cool is he's like this huge modern country artist. He's not even from around there. He's from Washington State, and
Which is
he
surprising, even the way he looks. He's very traditional cowboy.
yeah, has a mustache, but he has like this Appalachia bluegrass, like it's super cool, and I
Yeah.
absolutely loved it. And it like ballads, and I mean, and the other thing, I watched some of his like videos on social media. He does like various when he's doing like podcasts and stuff, and he's really funny too. He likes drinking beer and having fun. I
Well,
guess
you wouldn't think he was funny until he says some things. You know, guy's a comedian too. I
yeah.
mean, he's kind of straight faced, dry humor.
Yeah, I guess that uh his flight in the US when they got back to from Europe
Yeah.
in the US just a few days ago out of JFK got like delayed or canceled late at night, and they had a like a performance in the airport with the the rest of the people on the flight. They were
Well, that'd
just
have been kind of
pulled
cool.
out like a guitar and were playing around and messing around like in a bar. They were like all had beers in their hands. They had the whole band was there and
So they're at
everything.
the airport terminal bar.
Yeah, so that
Yeah,
would have
good
been wild
concert.
to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Zap Top kills it, and he's gonna continue to it. I think he's on the up and up, and he will be
Stadium guy.
yeah, huge,
Yeah.
and yeah, just needs to keep busting out the same style music that he has. Um, yeah. So you mentioned you wanted to
Well, yeah, I'm gonna hop back because this is the guy I thought you were gonna say was your act of the night. Drake Milligan.
yeah Elvis.
Yes, and I
He was the
actually missed.
shock of the show for me.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
I
I've
didn't
listened
know him
to
either. I didn't know him, so I wasn't shocked. I was like, "Yeah, this guy's good." And I
yeah,
like the
I've
Elvis
listened
stuff.
to his songs, and he has really good music. I don't know if you knew he's from America. He was on America's Got Talent. But I knew he had good music. I've listened to some of his songs. Um, but damn, he was the best performer there by bar none. Like he was just fantastic on the stage. Like he knew how to just perform on a stage. It's crazy. He's super good. Like obviously, and everyone when you see him and listen to him, like has this like Elvis vibe to him. Played an Elvis song at one point, so he knows
Well,
to.
yeah, and he's kind of, for lack of a better term, a pretty boy, good-looking
Yep.
guy. I think the girls do love him. You know, they were kind of swooning over him at times. So, yeah, I couldn't tell you what his biggest hit is though,
It
and all the
Drake
songs are
Mogan,
good.
I mean, for me, generally just was like the surprise of the show for me. Like yeah, I don't know what else to say. It was just kind of the surprise of the
Yeah,
show. I was on the same night, so that same night, first night, I will say. So we got there, like you're saying, a little late. Am quite disappointed in myself. I didn't even bother to look up like when shows were gonna go on the stage. But Baker Blankenship and Will Avalon were two artists I wanted to see, and apparently they're like in the middle of the flyer for the show.
yeah.
So I thought, oh, they'll come on in the middle of the show. Nope. They open the day one, so we completely missed them, and I'm very sad because I would have really liked to see them.
Well,
They're
I
two
mean, they
artists I
opened
listen to
on
a lot.
yeah, they opened on the main stage, but we did get
Yeah,
to see when we Tyler Braden was the guy,
so we saw Tyler
and he
Braden
was
is who
good.
we
I
saw when
enjoyed him too.
we saw his the start of his set when we first got there. So he was the very first person we saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. I very much enjoyed him.
The other
Yeah, he
guy
has good
I
songs.
enjoyed from the first day, he was on that, the stage in the other room, was that, Dylan Schneider, I think his name is. And
Yep.
oh,
You got a photo with him.
yeah, I got a photo and I didn't have anything to sign because people were having signed stuff. So the hat I was wearing, he signed. A couple of guys signed. So I wore my kind of American redneck fishing hat. And yeah, so, and he put on a good show. He is enjoyable, he engaged. I think he's going to do big things in country myself too. So definitely a country bro.
I will say Tyler Braden has a very cool song, and I don't know if you remember it, called "God and Guns and Roses."
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good song. He's on tour, I think, throughout the rest of 2026. So he'll definitely keep going on. So
Yeah, and I think the whole festival was like you had your main acts and then you had your up and comers. And for me, the up and comers were kind of the highlight. So it'll be interesting to follow some of these guys' careers as they grow in country music, and I think they will. And we'll talk about some of them shortly.
and I guess going to day 2. So we already talked about Zat Top. So the guy that performed ahead of him, if I remember correctly, is Cameron Marlowe. Yeah,
Yeah,
Cameron Marlowe, I think, performed ahead of him. He was another big surprise for me because he is like, from thinking of like listening to him on Spotify or something, he's got a very good voice.
Yeah.
That was, you know, unsure if that would translate to in person. And it, like, he definitely had the best voice of the weekend, like just pure singing voice. I think he was, yeah, like really good. I don't know. He has like just a big voice.
Yeah,
And
Cameron with a K. He was good. I enjoyed
yeah,
him too.
speaking of a voice, he was on The Voice as well.
He
And
was.
yeah, he was on The Voice. But he also has like songs with like Ella Langley, and Junata Ella Fella joined the group.
Wait,
But
was she?
she's not. Was there.
I mean,
She's
there were a lot of
too big.
female acts. Oh, I'm thinking Kaylee Bell. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he like just has probably the best pure voice. And that shocked me. He was yeah, he had a big voice. He was like just a very good concert. And so that's all I gotta say for him.
Yeah. I did enjoy Ty Myers too.
Yep,
He has some
Ty Myers
hits.
was good. I was glad we caught Waylon Wyatt's entire set. So we did go a little bit earlier. Day 2, Waylon Wyatt was one of the artists I wanted to see.
Which and I didn't know anything about. You kind of said you wanted to see him, and got my picture with him as well. Signed my hat.
Yeah, you did get a
Yeah, he's a cool kid, man. Young, and for someone so young, definitely has some country soul. Great voice, I thought. Great lyrics, and kid from Arkansas.
Yep. If I remember correctly, he did get big on
YouTube or something.
I think he was like, he had a lot of views on TikTok. Maybe I don't. Maybe it wasn't him. I know Baker Blankenship definitely did, but I thought Waylon Wyatt did too. But sorry. Yeah, he like had the hiccups. Yeah, I liked a lot of his music, and he is just a good country voice. Yeah, from Arkansas. So
Yeah.
I was happy we caught him and didn't get too late to miss him.
I think he's going to do big things in country. I think he's definitely going to grow.
He's going to be a big. But let's move on to two up and coming artists that I think were your highlights of the weekend. So,
well, I know one.
We'll start with the one we actually saw perform the full set, and the Shaver Lake Kid.
Yeah, and God, what is it? Noah Rinker, right?
Yep. Yeah, Noah Rinker.
And again, a guy just on his looks will do well, I think. But great songwriting, great voice, great stage presence, and we got to chat with him a little bit.
Yeah, so
the California boy.
Before, like when I saw the lineup, I saw the name. I had no clue who it was, but I was like, cool, another name on there. He was one of those guys where I couldn't have told you who he was, but I knew every single song he played there. Like all of his songs were on playlists I listened to on Spotify, and I was like, wait, what? I was very confused because like I didn't know the dude's name at all. but I've listened and know every single one of his songs he's come out with. And he's only
Yeah, you
released
you
like
were
an album or
surprised. I
two.
looked at your face, every song, you go, "Oh, I know this song." And he and his partner were playing on a stage that is in the main room
Yeah,
where
so
all the main
between
acts,
main
but in
stage
the back.
acts.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
you were up in the mezzanine, you would look right down on him. So we were standing right next to the stage, had a couple beers, and when he said the guy, the MC in Dutch was saying, I think he said Fresno or shit, something. No, he said Bakersfield, the
Bakersfield, yeah,
Bakersfield
Bakersfield.
sound. And I go, dude, you're from Bakersfield? He goes, who said that? He's like, no. And he came over. We started talking. He was from Shaver Lake, and I go, Shaver Lake, man, that's where I learned to ski. China Peaks. We had started talking, and yeah, he was a great guy. We got pictures with him. Got him. I can't. And the guy that was with him from Tucson
Yeah. South of
gave him a
Tucson.
South of Tucson.
I told
We're
him
both taking credit for.
I
We gave
told
him a
him that.
great song title, "South of Tucson," because we said, "Where are you from? Fresno area?" He goes, "No, I'm from South of Tucson." I go, "Man, that." Or Carson said, "It sounds like
I
a
said that
country
would be a
song."
great
Okay,
country song.
fine. So yeah, and he didn't disappoint on stage either.
No, he's
And
straight.
the other thing I will say too about this festival, a lot of times you'll go to these festivals with a lot of acts and they play their hit or two or three hits and then they're gone. Pretty much everybody had a full set. They weren't on the stage for one or two songs and left. They played pretty much a full set. So
I
you got a
think
wide range of their songs.
the main stage acts got an hour for like the
A full hour.
non-headliners, and I think the headliners
Yeah.
got an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it's not a full set for like the main stage, like if you were headlining your own concert or something, but definitely long enough to play all the stuff and
Yeah, but
even get some like covers and stuff in there too.
if you were to go to like our local casino with their big venue, the main acts usually are about an hour and a half at the most these
Yeah, but
days.
those are a bunch of old people playing there, so it's a little
Yeah, fine.
different.
Rub it in. No,
Yeah.
no. Carrie Underwood's coming. Big act.
Harry Underwood's coming?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Tim McGraw played
Um,
there.
but like they get basically a full set in on the main stage. The in between acts, so like Noah Rinker and the guys that play on like the food court stage. There's a stage by the food court, which awesome little stage because that's where like actually people were line next and stuff, which is funny.
Well, that's where I met Dylan
Dylan Schneider,
Schneider, man.
yeah, he was good, and
He was.
but they did. I think they got like 30, 45 minutes, in between
Yeah.
the main stage, because obviously everyone's there for the main stage acts, and but they like really cool. Like the one you're talking about where Noah Rinker played, yeah, it's opposite of the main stage, so yeah, the mezzanine like look down, you could be like right up next to it, like really close. 'Cause
That
there
was
was
the
like
other
a VIP area in front of the
yeah.
main
And
stage.
going back to the whole last minute concert thing, we had discussed where to get our tickets, and we decided the first night, let's go on the floor. And then we'll play it by ear the second night because we figured Zach Top will want a seat because he's mostly ballads. But I was surprised if you had a seat in the mezzanine, you could go on the floor. I don't think
Yeah.
most concerts are that way. At least in the States, wherever you buy a ticket, that's where you have to stay. So
Yeah, you just couldn't go from the floor to the mezzanine. That's the only restriction. You
yes,
couldn't go up
yeah,
to the
yeah,
seats, which made
yeah.
sense. Yeah,
And,
I think it
and
was more like general admission versus reserve seats.
yeah, and I like that because that second night we spent some time in the mezzanine resting. Then we'd look down and see who's playing, and hey, let's go get a beer. The line's not that long. You go down there. And that's how we saw some of the best acts of for me, some of the great acts of the show.
Yep.
So who's
Yeah.
the second one? I think I know.
Yeah, the second one is not one we saw, unfortunately. I think they performed very early.
I thought I saw them.
I think we heard them and may have like heard them while getting food, but not really put two and two together. And again,
Yeah.
these guys fall into the same group as No Rinker. I know a lot of their songs because they're very particular to like where I went to school.
Well,
but
yeah, I'll tell how we kind of ended up really being
I'll
fans.
say
Go
the
ahead.
Jack Wharf Band is
Yes.
this group, and I'll let you then take it from here with the story.
So the second night, everything's done, and we actually hung out quite. And that was the other thing about this festival. When the shows ended, people didn't go home. They went in the room with the food trucks, and it was like a nightclub. There was line dancing going on, a lot of line dancing and teaching, but that's a whole different story. So we ended up staying, another hour and a half, got some food, watched the line dancing, looked around at the shops, and then went back to our hotel. And we get on our floor, and outside our room are three guys just hanging out with their luggage. And I go, man,
And we're just watching. We're just about to
yeah.
walk past them,
And
and
I
I'm
look
already
up,
past. I'm already
yeah,
past them at
you're
this point.
you're almost in the room, and I go, holy shit, is that a Hokies hat? Go Hokies! And the guy was wearing a Virginia Tech hat.
He had a VT hat that I own as well. I own the
Yeah,
same hat.
everybody has. And I'm going, holy shit. So we started talking, and it was the Jack Wharf Band.
Yeah,
And
it's
so,
Jack Wharf Band.
and we started talking, and they said, oh, yeah, we just did a show. I go, yeah, we were just there, man. You were the guy in the overalls, right? In the other room. And he goes, no, but I did play with my shirt off. And he was the drummer and everything. But I go, I think we saw him, but I wasn't really sure. But anyway, the Jack comes up, and he was excited that you went to Virginia Tech. We lived in Richmond. I think he's from Richmond.
Yeah, they're all from Richmond,
Virginia,
or not Richmond. They're all from Virginia, Appalachia. They're Appalachian.
Yeah, the drummer's from Roanoke.
They're
the
from
guy
Central
with the Virginia
Virginia.
Tech. Yeah. Great guys. Started listening to more of their music on Spotify. Follow them now on social media.
I mean, one of my
They're
favorite,
fun.
one of the songs I've been listening the most recently, like up through this, and again, similar to Noah Rinker, I didn't know the name of the band who sings these songs, but they have a song called "Old Virginia," and
yes,
it's about Virginia, and it's like the song that came up on my Spotify, and I've listened to it a lot recently. Never looked at who the artist is or connected to anything, and then yeah, like I met the kids that are the artists, and they're from Central Virginia, and they're singing about Virginia. That they're like, it was cool.
Yeah, they got a song, Richmond Jail, which is kind of I go, so they talk about the town you lived in, your mom and I lived in. They talk about Virginia in general. So, it was exciting. And then following them now, their guitarist is hilarious too. The guy jams all the time. I don't know if you saw the video where he's playing the guitar with his mouth. And they just had a new release.
While they're in Europe, London. They released their new album. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So they've been posting. They were walking across Abbey Road. They went to Abbey Studios. They got their name in lights in Nashville for the release.
I'll say why. I don't know if we mentioned it, but why they were at like Abbey Road, because they also played country in the second weekend across the 3 UK cities, and so they were, while their album was releasing and debuting, they were playing country in UK. And I saw they posted like a video of their album cover on the billboard in Nashville, which is pretty cool. So yeah, pretty cool stuff for them.
Yeah, so I'm now a fan. Hopefully they come west to California. I'll definitely go see them. I'm sure they play around Richmond, down in, we used to live in the Fan. I'm sure they play Friday Cheers, if that's still going on, and maybe Innsbruck. I don't know what's going on in Richmond anymore. So it was exciting and nice to chat with those guys, and just good dudes overall. Young guys.
That's one of the other things. There was a few, those guys, Noah Rinker, a few different guys there that are Ty Myers. He's like 18 years old.
Young guys, really young.
Like, can you imagine being these guys that 18, 19, 20, 21, traveling to Europe to play country music? Like, a lot of these guys, they said it was, it's my first time in Europe. And they're out here
all of them pretty much,
music.
I think. And that's I'm excited for them. I think great experience, great exposure. I would love, I'd like to get these guys on the podcast, but I'd like to know, because it sounded like there's a hierarchy going on. You got the main acts like Jordan Davis, everything's paid for, everything's done. But listening to, I think it was like Kaylee Bell or one of the female artists that played, it sounded like a lot of it was on their own dime. That they had to kind of get their logistics. I won't say their own dime, but like the guys at the hotel, the reason they were waiting outside our room is they didn't have a room. There was some mix-up
they
somehow.
said there was just like a mix-up with the company booking their rooms, but I mean, I think they got it all settled out. So,
but I wonder how they treat the guys that are just kind of up and coming versus the headliners, and how it's covered. It's all about exposure for the young guys, I think.
Yeah, and in as much as like, they're up and coming artists, like any music artist. would kill to be in their spot if they're up and coming, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they're in Europe playing country music. It's crazy to think about. And
Well,
people in Europe, in the
yeah.
Netherlands, are singing along to their music.
Yeah,
Like not
exactly.
me, an American, right? But Dutch people, like from the Netherlands, are singing along to like some kid from Shaver Lake. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly. And quite frankly, Shaver Lake it's more of a village up in the mountains in the
Yeah.
Sierras. So it's not like it's Clovis, California, or Fresno or Bakersfield. It's not a big area. Everybody in Shaver Lake knows him, I'm sure. But in Europe in general, if you remember like Josef in Prague, he loved country music. So there's definitely a audience there. And I think for some reason Zurich has a lot of country guys stopping there to
It's like the
play.
first stop for like all
Yeah.
country artists in Europe when they go on tour here. Just like I was saying,
Sadly, you're
I wanted to
jonesing
go to
for
that
yeah,
top,
yeah.
but I do have an upcoming show to see Tucker Wetmore in Zurich, so I
We have
will go
another
see a show in Zurich.
we have another one coming up that's unusual, but yeah, there's no country band stopping, or at least not to my
They don't
knowledge,
go,
much in Vienna. They don't
yeah,
go east, man.
they don't go more east than Zurich or
Zurich.
southeast than Zurich. They rarely go to a country touching the Mediterranean. Maybe I
Yeah.
can preview that one a little bit later. And
Yeah, so
then they go
Dylan, Jack,
as
go to
far
Vienna, go to
east
Linz.
as far east as Berlin. I think Berlin is like it. But they wouldn't go to. There's a few guys coming to Munich, I should say. There's a couple guys I know coming to Munich. But that's about as far east as you get. So Germany is the end of the road.
Well, here's an idea for the Jack Wharf Band. They need to play the Summer Bowl in Vienna. They'll be the halftime show for the championship game or the semi. They'd be
That would
great.
be
They'd have a good time.
crazy.
They're football guys. At least the guy with the tech hat on was definitely a football guy. So
Yeah.
that would be fun.
But yeah,
But
so overall impressions of country to country Rotterdam.
enjoyed it immensely. Would do it again in a heartbeat.
Okay.
And so is your former landlord has said the same thing in Calhoun, Georgia. So yeah, if you're into country, you want to travel Europe, maybe you've never been, and you want to see a bunch of bands, I would recommend any of the sites to go to. I'd love to go to Glasgow or Belfast as well.
So speaking of, making it a trip to Europe, you did go to Amsterdam. So real quick, your or Amsterdam and Rotterdam, obviously, real quick, your impressions of Rotterdam and Amsterdam from
Yeah, I
a
didn't know if you
tourist
wanted to do
perspective.
two separate
Yeah, just
podcasts.
real quick,
yeah,
blurb on it.
First of all, Rotterdam is a port city, industrial city. It was important during the Second World War. It was destroyed. So Rotterdam is all modern, from the cube houses to the what's the food
Stripers, the food
Yeah,
hall,
the
market
food
hall.
hall is a spec. If you want to see modern architecture, Rotterdam is a great place to tour around. Now, Amsterdam, I think everybody's heard of it. The red light district, Anne Frank's house. Enjoyed it
canals.
immensely. Architecturally, if you older architecture, it's so interesting because the houses are leaning. They
What
were
was the
built on
one thing
pylons.
you kept mentioning that you really wish you saw, and I saw, but you never did? You remember the pulleys?
The what? Oh, the
The
pulleys.
pulleys.
Yes. So yeah, just how they get furniture up to the upper floor, and you do see it on the top floor. There's a
There's a little pulley
beam
that
coming
comes
out
out of
with a
the
pulley. So and the food was great. The drinks were great. I
hotel.
can't
Was
remember.
great.
The hotel was phenomenal. 5 stars to the Canal House, part of SLS hotel chain.
It's a small
boutique hotel.
Small boutique
on a
hotels of the
canal.
world. It's
Great
I think
neighborhood.
Marriott Hilton, but it's not part
It's-
of the Marriott Hilton or whatever it is.
It's associated with it. They do their bookings.
They're just their bookings. Yeah, they're
I
part of
think it's
that.
SLS or one of the boutique brands.
It's small
But-
boutique hotels of the world.
But I can't remember her name. She was a Polish girl. We had a great time with her talking. I'm embarrassed to say I can't remember her name, but She was
Yeah,
very
the
impressed
Finland.
that Carson knew his Polish culture,
I do
and
know
that
things.
yeah, the fish in the bathtub. I'll just leave it at that. So if you ever go to the Canal House, ask about fishes in bathtubs as a cultural thing in Poland.
And if you're
And
ever curious, look it up. It's a real thing.
yeah, but yeah, definitely recommend the Canal House. It's in what's the name of the neighborhood? Great
Jordan.
neighborhood, Jordan. Uh,
Yeah.
Also, as many of you know, I love to get a haircut and blade shave in every try to get a major city one because you hear about the culture and learn things about the city.
I think
So
I
I had
think you got this from me. I think this
yes,
was
I did.
something
I
you
did. Well,
adopted from me.
it goes back to the whole Turkish barber thing and wanting to try that out. But I had a great guy, Warren, who turned out it was Irish, and I can't remember. Porham, I think, was the barber shop. Um, so
It was the Dutch word for face,
yeah,
porum.
what
Yeah,
Porham, I think it is.
porum.
But
Yeah,
learned a lot from the guy. The guy had just bought a house, so it was interesting to hear about how to get a house in Amsterdam because it is very hard to do so. Um, and then we went to that one restaurant, and Jan said I need to try that liquor. I can't remember. It's like a gin-based liquor that
oh,
made at their
it's
distillery.
like Dutch gin, basically. Yeah,
Yeah, and he brought it out, and the thing was like overflowing. And so I was going to sip. He goes, "No, no, no. You must do what do you call it? A
put your
face bomb."
you put
So
your
I
face
had
down instead.
he put it on the table, and I had to like drink it off the table, basically, and it was good. And you had recommended certain things like the French fries, and some of the food around town. Uh, and we didn't do a on off bus like we normally do because I don't even know if I think they have one, but it's a canal city, so I said we got to do a boat ride. So we did a boat ride. It
Yeah.
was interesting and great. And then on the flight home, I watched a movie, Amsterdam 2. So apparently there's a one about a murderous creature in the canals of Amsterdam.
Interesting.
So overall, loved Amsterdam. It's one of those cities I think everybody should go to and visit. Totally different than Rotterdam. And I
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah,
you didn't go with me, but I did go into Sweden, visited some friends, realized that Sweden, you're basically on the same latitude as Alaska.
yeah.
A
Way
lot
up
of
there.
wood, was in a small village, went out, had some drinks and a meal with a friend from high school that I hadn't seen in a long time. And he's
Did you
definitely into the culture.
did you go to IKEA?
I did not go to IKEA.
Dang
So,
it.
but
Unfortunate.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. I
So
can go to
so
IKEA here.
was a good trip.
Yeah,
Country to country was good.
it was a great trip. Good to see you, Carson. Last minute trip,
Yeah. Last
kind of
minute to
off
say the
season.
least.
That's the other thing is the tulips are probably now starting to bloom. And I remember talking again to the Polish girl at the hotel. She goes, "A couple more weeks, it's going to be crazy booked out with people. It's the high season. It's the tough time of the year for her, but we had no lines, no waits. Really, everything was easy.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah,
So
we went to last time I went for a Sail Fest, the Van Gogh Museum fully booked out for
yeah, we did
weeks.
the Van Gogh
We did the
Museum.
Van Gogh Museum, so
I will
we
say
did do
we were
some culture,
yeah.
additional culture.
And yeah, you got to book it out in advance. We had no problem. It was also World Women's Day when they're there, so the
Yep,
park was filled with.
International Women's Day.
I don't know. We call it protesting, but just
Just a
people.
festival,
Yeah.
like a
Oh,
women's
oh,
fest.
and one thing I will say, when I was in Stockholm, I took the train to Linköping, but I had never been that deep underground to get to a train in my life
Oh
or a
yeah,
subway.
yeah, they have deep subways.
I went down a deep escalator and figured I was done. And then it was another escalator further down and just cave rock, nobody around. I thought, holy crap, am I in the right spot? And then the train showed up. So, Stockholm Airport, phenomenal. Stockholm's a great city. Trains were great. So, thumbs up for everything. It was a breeze of a trip.
Nice. Yeah, so everything was good. I really enjoyed myself. The country was fun. So thanks for coming out and hanging out.
Yeah, maybe we'll
I
do it again.
will say a preview. Maybe not do it again, but that's in the future. In the future, I guess to be decided. What has been decided is I do have tickets upcoming, like I said, to Touch of Wetmore in Zurich. So look forward
What's
to an
the other one?
episode
Do
on
you
that.
want to mention the other one?
Yeah, but the other one is quite interesting. Um, I have tickets to Zach Bryan in Spain, and he is doing. I forgot
In the
the
city of San Sebastian,
San
Spain, on the
Sebastian.
coast. And why is he playing there, Carson, of all
Yeah, he
cities
is
in the
playing
world?
there because that is where his new wife is from, San Sebastian. And I thought this would be one of the most interesting country concerts I could go to. And I've been wanting to see Zach Bryan. I put you on the going to Zach Bryan concert in Las Vegas a few years
Yes.
ago before you really knew who he was. And
Yeah. That was the show, and I think we talked about it. It was like you'd say, "Oh," and he sold
gotta
out
go.
like multiple nights. I
Yeah,
go,
he's a stadium
"Why?"
sellout.
And yeah, this guy I've never heard of is playing stadiums, and it was a great show. And the show that you're going to in his wife's hometown, it sounds like it's going to be similar to the show we saw in that he's playing like in a center stage in
Well,
an arena.
it's hard to
or
know
out.
because he's on a fully new tour. This is not the same tour, so it could be completely different. I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously he's gonna play some of his hits that you saw there, but he
But out of
released a new
curiosity,
album,
yeah,
and so it's gonna
hi-
be a like a new tour.
who is his wife, and how did he meet her?
It's there's a long story and it goes to Barstool Sports and Brianna
So it was
Chicken
all part of that
Fry.
whole drama scheme.
And
She's in.
she came after him, and it was pretty quiet. And I have no idea the details. I don't know. I stopped following all that because it's kind of chaos. He made good songs, and that's all I.
Yeah, but is
care.
she from San Sebastian,
No
born and
idea.
raised? Okay. I'm just wondering. Yeah, it's such a small
I
town.
mean, she
resort
was
town.
born there. I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah,
that's all I looked up and cared to look up.
yeah. But it's like your aunt being born in Tehran.
But it's
And
just like not it's not a city. Like I was saying, country music doesn't go to Mediterranean countries. So going to
quite frankly,
Spain.
I doubt many concerts go to San Sebastian other than maybe small
it's
regional. It is a
interesting.
resort town.
But just but just generally country music in like Western culture, West cowboy culture comes from Spanish culture.
Gauchos.
So it's kind of like
related.
weirdly.
You're trying to make an
history.
intelligent academic
So,
link.
There is a link between. Now it's not where San Sebastian is. It's not northern Spain. It's southern Spain. Would be cowboy culture.
I don't know a
but-
whole lot, but I get the feeling San Sebastian is kind of like Santa Barbara, just
Yeah,
a
I mean,
small
it's-
beach
And
resort
if you don't
town.
know, San Sebastian's in the north of Spain. I don't even know what that like sea is called, but it's on the ocean, in the north of Spain on the Atlantic side. Not the Atlantic side, but the north side of Spain, touching the Atlantic. I think
Yeah.
it's still the Atlantic, but I don't know if that's part
It
of
is the
the
Atlantic,
It's
yeah.
called something.
It's hard to get to, which is
it's
going to
like
be
a
your
resort
challenge.
town. Yeah, and I have to go like Bilbao or something. But it's not where you would expect a country artist to go. That's for sure. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be an interesting experience. I've seen on the internet people have already from like the UK and various places around Europe. I've seen that other people are going to this one's. It should be quite the experience. And
Yeah.
I will say I look the Cowboys and Western that all started from Vaqueros, Spain,
Oh,
southern Spain.
I was thinking gauchos, vaqueros, yeah.
I don't know how to say the word, but or the region, but Andalusia,
Yeah.
in southern Spain. That's where that all.
And I'm a
originated
former
from.
gaucho and vaquero, so
Yeah, you are.
I should have known that.
Not literally. If you don't know, he's went to school with the mascots of those places. So
Exactly. Look at that.
yeah. Any final words before we wrap this one up?
No, other than if you want a vacation and want to see some country music, I would say go for it. Country was fun.
And check out all the artists that we mentioned today. They're all good artists. So
maybe we can. I think we can score Jack Wharf Band on the podcast.
But
that's my hope.
That, we'll end it here. Thanks for listening to the At Wits End podcast, episode 70. See ya next time.
Talk soon. Cheers.